Hello ladies and gents, welcome to another video, and this video is about the iPhone 14 Pro Max 1-year review slash experience slash its Achilles heels battery life. So I'm going to talk about this in this video. This is the black space gray iPhone 14 Pro Max. I've been using it for almost exactly a year, 1 year today. Tomorrow the iPhone 15 Pro Max comes out, and I think by the time you're gonna watch it, it's iPhone 15 Pro Max day, and I've been using it with this Apple leather case, and they're not making this anymore, unfortunately. They're replacing it with a fine woven case. We'll talk about that later in a different video. But so just to let you know that this has not been used without a case, but this has been used with this case most of the time, but recently I have just used it without the case. And if you look closely, you're gonna see that it held up pretty well. The 15 Pro has been replaced, the stainless steel has been replaced by titanium on the side. This one had a little bit of grip than the 13 Pro Max, so I like this, and I like this shade of black. I'm not sure how the 15 Pro Max black is gonna look. It's a little lighter, but this shade of black is one of my favorite colors on the iPhones, especially the stainless steel black. All in all, design-wise, holding it, durability-wise, it dropped it a few times without a case. With a case, survived. But I do have a screen protector, as you can see from the bubble there. I do have a screen protector on. I have not used it without a screen protector, and I recommend you not to use an iPhone without a screen protector, or any phone, because you might drop. You can use it without a case, but do not use it without a screen protector. Enough of the design and the durability, the reliability part. Now let's get into the main portion, that is the performance. So as you can see, this is running on iOS 17.0.1, and this is the latest version on the 14 Pro Max. I think the 15 Pro Max has the 17.0.2, but I just updated it today. So now let's talk about performance on this. It is a pretty smooth device. If you go through the 120 hertz display, scrolling through everything, swiping, feels pretty smooth. iOS 17 has made it a little smoother. The transitions are pretty good. But the problem with this is the battery life, and we'll come back to it a little later because it all ties down into the whole thing. It's a pretty fast phone. A lot of things are not being even used by the processor because of the software limitations. So the dynamic island is another feature that came with the 14 Pro Max, and you can see that on the dynamic island, if you have two apps, so the Waze is running, and if you have the music that's running, it's gonna come up like that, and you can switch between the two. This comes in handy when you're driving the car. The dynamic island only came in handy while it was being driven. So that's a nice feature, but apart from that, I have not been able to like take full advantage of dynamic island. I didn't actually use it that much. I'm just gonna touch a little briefly on the camera. The camera is okay on a still. I still think the Pixel 7 takes better still images. That's my personal opinion. But front-facing camera, and with all the software updates, the processing and all that, the camera has been like a up and down curve, right? Only thing that's going for this, and I'm going to say this, the best one is the video functionality. The video on the iPhone 14 Pro Max has been pretty great. The macro feature on videos and all the stuff. For video, to have a video in your pocket, it has been great. And also you can use ProRes, record in ProRes format. I have not, you're probably going to, if it's a 256 gigabyte of storage on the 14 Pro Max, you're probably gonna need a lot of space for that. You need that 1 terabyte one if you want to use the ProRes, because that takes up a lot of space. Alright, so now let's go to the battery. the main thing about this iPhone 14 Pro Max, the Achilles heel of this device. I'm just going to turn off the dynamic island can do. If you go to battery health and charging, as of right now, which is, what is it? The 21st of September 2023, and the 22nd, the 15 Pro Max coming out. As of right now, it's on 89%. iPhone 14 Pro Max at 89% after 1 year of use. Whereas the 13 Pro Max, which is still being used, and my father is using it, it has 87% battery health and charging. And that's after 2 years. That's the launch day iPhone 13 Pro Max. This is the launch day iPhone 14 Pro Max. So I have optimized battery charging, and I have never used MagSafe. I have not used wireless charging on this. It has been plugged in every night, plugged in, has been taken off the charger until it has been 100%. I usually charge overnight. I've been doing that with all my phones, and I've run betas on it. But here's the thing. Up until April of this year, this had 100% battery life. I think end of April, 100%. In May, went to 99%. And from end of May, 98%. And then after that, it just went downhill with all the software updates. Now, before coming to iOS 17.0, let's talk about iOS 16. This thing came with 16.0 or the 16.0.1. And I have to go back a little bit regarding these phones into the software. And as you can see here, the battery life, and I've been taken off of charger at 3:48 a.m. and screen active has been 6 hours 9 minutes. Screen idle has been 44, and I almost have like used up 24% battery left. So it has not been great, right? And this has been like this. So if I go back to 15, I think it's a problem with Apple's software that is not connecting well, or it's not compatible well with the hardware that they're producing. iPhone 13 Pro Max, I suffered a lot with the battery life too. A lot of people have not suffered. They said they had great battery life. I didn't. The battery life improved on the 13 Pro Max on iOS with the updates, but I think 15.3.1 or 15.3 has been the best one, and after that it went downhill. But it was still better than the 14 Pro Max, what I encountered with the battery. So, and the 16 point, all the 16 points that they came out with, I think the best one was the 16.5.1. That was the best battery life. I typically got around 7 hours to 8 hours of screen on time, screen active time. And after that, 6.6 just killed it, barely 4 hours. And then I started the betas, the iOS 17 betas. That, in hindsight, if you think that had killed the battery, but it's not like that. 16.6, a lot of people I've seen online, they have not run the betas, but the battery degraded soon. It was coming to a year, like in June, about end of May to June, July, August, the battery went literally downhill. And a lot of people are at 89%, not just me. If you look around on YouTube, online social media, 89%. Launch day iPhones. So this is the Achilles heel of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And I am very much disappointed because this has been a trend of Apple, and they have been doing it since 13 Pro Max. The software, either it's degrading the battery or the count, it is recounting it and is showing a lower battery health, but actually the batteries are fine. It's very hard to say what's the problem, because with the 14 Pro Max, this device has been quite a warm device. It has been, with all these software updates, this has never been, I think only on 16.5.1, this has been pretty cool. Apart from that, every software update, this has been a warm device. Something is always running in the background. It's a software thing. Maybe the A16 processor, the chip, is using a lot of battery, but I don't have, as you can see, I don't have always on display. I have always turned this off because this was affecting my battery life in the beginning. So always on display has been turned off, and still I didn't get good battery life. So this is the Achilles heel of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I'm not confident about the 15 Pro Max. They do have some nice features that they have. They have the battery count that's embedded into this, installed with the software, and also they have 80% charging limit on there. But yeah, this is not looking promising. Again, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt to 15 Pro Max. Hope Apple have improved it, but with the A17 Pro chip, but the 14 Pro Max, the battery degradation has been awful, and it's 89%, which it should be like this for after 2 years of use instead of 1 year of use. You can take it to an Apple store, get the battery replaced for $99 if you don't have Apple. If you have, I think, Apple Care Plus, or the price might vary. If you have no Apple Care, it might be $200. You have to check in your region, but I don't know. That's not a solution to me. If I want to use a phone for 2 years, like the cycle has gone down. I mean, people don't upgrade every year unless you are a YouTuber or you are always on the go with testing out different phones, or a developer. But it's a 2 year cycle most of the time. So I expect the batteries to last 2 years without any hiccups. This will definitely, even if the battery, if the software improves, the battery life will not improve that much because you're only stuck at 89% of battery health. And for me, that is not good. So again, this is the Achilles heel of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I am very much underwhelmed and disappointed. I didn't do a video on the review of this. This is a 1 year thing, so next year I'll do a bunch of videos on the 15 Pro Max. I'll test it out and see how that goes. I'll definitely go for the 15 Pro Max to see how this goes. But if you're someone using it in the United States or outside of the United States with eSIMs or not eSIMs, you want to keep your phone for 2 years, this is a very much of disappointment. And Apple, I think it's time for you to own up to this. Whatever PR campaign you do with, like, oh, 80% battery life after 2 years, 1 year, blah blah blah, is all good. It's not. Please fix your software, make it very much compatible with the hardware and the processor so that it's not degrading the battery, or you're not forcing people to upgrade to the next iPhone when it comes out every year. And again, I am not a paid YouTuber or influencer that gets early access from Apple. Everything you see on this channel, bought with my own money, and I speak my mind. Anyways, I say it what it is. I'll see you guys in the next video. If you liked it, if you found this video very a little bit of informative and useful, please subscribe. I'm back on YouTube for a while. I'll try to put some content out. I've been posting some shorts, but long form content, I haven't done it, so I'll do it here. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.